Hi friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with C-Zook Stitch, and today I am with Kim from Stitch and Stuff and Tina from Tina Stitches, and we are here to talk about a stitching shelf. The stitching shelf SAL that we're going to be starting August 12th. Which is coming up. I see your face, your eyes got big, Kim.
What am I doing?
What are we doing?
So soon.
It is so soon. So just about 12 days. And we thought we would meet here and record just a quick video to talk about different ways that we are containing or sorting or organizing our flosses for, well, we're all doing the max colors. Is that right, Kim? You're also doing the max colors? Yes. Which has 237 colors, I believe. But there's lots of versions of a stitching shelf. So there's the regular colors, which is usually around 90 colors. And there are the quick stitches as well, which is just a scene from the whole stitching shelf. Yeah. I don't have a printed copy of the stitching. Does anyone have a printed copy of it handy? Kim does. I forgot to get it printed, but I'll get it printed before the SAL.
Are you doing paper copy or pattern keeper?
I'm doing pattern keeper, but my tablet's upstairs.
My camera's not going to be as.
This is what we're doing. It's called a stitching shelf by Amy Stewart. And there's also a Stitch in Time, which has a clock in the center.
Yes.
Are you doing this one, or Tina, which one are you doing?
I am doing without the medallion in the middle.
Yeah, same. I'm doing the one without it. And then there are they call them quick stitches, right? That have just a particular scene out of it, which you can also do, which is actually tempting at this point, staring down mounds of floss, but I'm going to stick with the max colors. What is the size of the regular chart, Kim, while you have it?
It is 725 by 518. So it would be 29 wide by 29 inches wide, 20 inches and 5/8 high on 25 count.
Wow.
It's big.
Is that the regular or the max color?
This is the large, this is the max.
Okay.
It's a super size.
Yeah. I think the super size goes up to 999 stitches.
Yeah, no, that's not mine.
What's another couple hundred stitches, Kim?
Oh, my word. Really? Is it just that many more?
That's the maximum size that she can get her program to make it.
Right, is the 999.
999.
Yeah, no, that's not mine. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. Super size. I don't think there's any difference in the size of the two charts, except the colors are extended.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And in case you really have never seen this and you can't tell by this picture, it is 4 shelves, one for each season, and all along the shelf are women. Is there a man in here also at some point? I can't remember.
I thought I saw one in there, but I might just be making it up.
There's a man watching a woman stitch.
Okay, and there are books behind them. So it's book spines, and then there's stitchers, kind of all little vignettes of stitchers. It's stunning. It really is. It's going to be a work of art.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. That's a little bit bigger.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, I need to get on that.
You got a bag?
Order bag right now. Okay. Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Great.
So now you get an idea. It is very beautiful.
Yeah, and we'll link it. We'll link the chart down below for you.
I've also followed the hashtag for it on Instagram.
Oh.
And so you can see other stitchers that are stitching it.
What is that hashtag? Do you know?
I think it's just a stitching shelf.
Okay, perfect.
Let me double check it.
We also have a Facebook group that we just set up that is just called a Stitching Shelf SAL, S-A-L. We'll link that down below as well. And there'll just be a couple easy security questions to answer and just to make sure we keep the trolls out. And then we'll have lots of fun commiserating and sharing our progress over the next decade or two while we work on this piece.
At least we're realistic.
Goal to end August 12th, 2032.
If you do 100 stitches a day.
Right. Or 3,000 stitches a month.
Yeah. There you go.
How many a month?
3,000.
Would be 10 years.
Yeah.
So just for comparison, the Tour de France that I did on Cat Alphabet, I got 3,800 stitches in the month.
Wow.
And that's because I wasn't working this month.
Yeah. That makes a difference.
I mean, if that's all you work on, I mean, it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
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 But maybe I'll do like a monogamous mania or something and focus on this too.
Or it also works out to 700 stitches a week.
Okay.
Or 1,400 every other week.
Aren't you quite the mathematician?
This is helpful.
I'm just going based on 100 stitches a day, right? But if you don't want to work on it every day, you want to just do like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Every other week. If you get 1,400 stitches on those 2 or 3 days, that'll get you 10 years.
That's good to know, though, because 100 a day sounds daunting, but 700 a week or something sounds a little more doable.
Yeah, it's definitely a mind. Well, and practicality, right? You might not stitch every single day.
Right.
Right.
And if you do, like, we're not monogamous stitchers, most of us.
No.
And
this is heavy confetti, so it would take a lot to get 100 stitches a day.
Yeah.
Be switching between 30 colors if you're going block by block.
Right. So it will take a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's about the process, I think, with this one more than, right? This is about kind of slowing down. Like, it's a different mindset. I'm trying to go into it with a different mindset of, let's see how far I can get on this piece, which is what I usually do when I stitch. And, I mean, I enjoy the process of stitching as well, but this one I think is really going to slow me down. And I'm trying to go into it with a different mindset of just enjoy the process of the colors and changing the colors. And
I wonder if this will cause me to rethink future, like, what am I going to choose to, because obviously I'm not going to stay monogamous, but what will I continue choosing to stitch? Will I choose bigger things anymore, or focus more on this and then just have smaller things going? It'll be interesting what catches my eye and what my attitude changes during this.
Yeah. And I expect that there'll be like ebbs and flows, right? Like sometimes you'll be like, yes, this is really what I want to focus on, and other times maybe not as much, but it's exciting.
It's a project.
So Tina, how are you corralling your 237 threads?
I have chosen to go with floss cards.
Okay.
So I've cut these. These are 8 by 11.5. I get them from where I work, but you can buy comic book storage, acid free. You can get them on Amazon. Yeah. But I just numbered every card with all the numbers that I need, and I put an asterisk beside the ones that are less than 100 stitches because I only need 1 strand or 2 strands of this.
Okay.
And that way I know I don't have to reload that hole when I run out.
Okay. Smart. What, she froze.
Yeah. Does it say on there which ones only take 10 or 1?
If you go into the chart itself, it will show you the number of stitches.
Gotcha. Oh, I think I did see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I know. Apparently my internet is unstable. So
that's all right.
We had such high hopes for your new internet, Tina.
Yeah, I know. So there are some that I still need to get. So I'm going to be placing an order for all these blanks. Yeah. And finish it off.
And can you tell us about your fabric? I should have asked that first. What fabric are you stitching it on?
25 count antique white Lugana.
Okay.
It's not pre-gridded, but I did go ahead and mark my edges and centers.
Okay. Oh, great. Oh, so you, okay. Yeah. Great. That's
that way,
a lot of prep work.
I know how much border I have because I've stitched a Haid and started at the top and made it to the bottom with about an inch to spare. So now
scary.
I check and triple check and mark it.
Yeah. So when you did your borders, is that like every 10 stitches or did you just do it kind of at random?
It's just a running stitch.
Running stitch. Yeah.
There's no counting between those lines.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see that. Okay. Great. And are you doing full cross or half cross?
2 strands, half cross.
2 strands, half cross. Yeah. So it should only take you 5 years then to finish it because you're doing half, right?
If I was to double that up, yeah. It will take me half the time it will take you.
Yeah. So 5 years.
Still 10 years. But I'll get instead of an hour a night, it'll take you 2 hours a night.
She's telling us that it's going to take us 20 years, Karen.
Yeah, which I'm good with. Maybe she'll have forgotten about it in 20 years.
Remember, I have other Haids on the go.
Yes, that's true.
So yeah.
Okay, so you're using the floss cards and you have them all back. So everything, I mean, except for the ones you're missing, they're all there and you're going to work from that.
Yeah.
Right.
The multiples, I have extras in my bag.
Okay. Perfect. Great. And then Kim, how are you organized?
Oh, I don't know.
What fabric are you using?
Okay, so I bought a 25 count Easy Grid Lugana just in white.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I need all the help I can get. I can't imagine not having this gridded, Tina. And I'm sure I have more than enough fabric. So anyway, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm going to try. This is my big dilemma. I wanted to do 2 over, because doesn't she recommend 2 over 1 on 25 count?
I think that's just what the program that she has prints. 1 over 1 on 25 count full cross is lots.
Is good. Okay, because I'm doing my hoity-toity on a 25 count 1 over 1.
Yeah.
And it's plenty thick. And I kept looking at that the other night because it was my whip go piece last month. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do 2 over 1 on this little, because it's the same count. So, okay, that helps. Because I thought maybe I should do 2 over half stitch, but I've tried to do the half cross. Sarah's doing it. I have a really hard time counting with that. If I'm moving around, I don't want to risk it. So I think I'll just stick with 1 over 1 full cross. And I right now am just doing all my flosses in flossaways because that's how I roll. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of flossaways. And then I'm going to put them, I bought some little thread drop thingies to label each ring for what decade it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. This may not. The reason why I like flossaways is that I like when I cut a thread and I use 1 or 2, I can just shove it back in the bag and be done. I don't have to loop it around. I just like being able to have all that in one bag. So that's what I'm doing. We'll see if that really works. I'm definitely a newbie here.
Yeah. It's always interesting until you get into it and start using it to see kind of what your needs are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm doing mine on 18 count, 2 threads over 1, obviously. Uh-huh. Just an Ada that I got. I have to double check to make sure I have the right size. But Andrea actually was going to put it on the freebie table at StitchCon. She went up to her room and came down to the StitchCon room with a piece of luggage, a suitcase, and brought it to our table first for first dibs, kind of at the table she was sitting at, and said, help yourselves. And I got a lot of fabric very generously from her. And one of them was this giant piece of 18 count Aida. So I just need to double check that it is 18 count and that it's the right size. But I think we did a rough measurement there in the StitchCon room, and I think it will work. So funny enough, there was also a huge piece of black Aida in there. And I said, oh, what if I did it all over black? But I'm not going to.
Why?
Why? So originally I was going to put it all in this binder and then just pull out on a ring the colors that I'm going to be working on. And so you can see I kind of started with baseball card holders in it. But they kept sliding out and all this, and it just, I don't know. So we just had our magazine monthly Zoom call. And because I use Annie's Keepers, I think I'm just going to do, here's a good example. I'm going to get a file cabinet, like a little mini file box or something, and have them all in here in the file box. And then I can just click off the ones that I need and just put them on a ring as I'm using them, and then kind of put them back in for the master. So that I think is what I'm going to start out with. And I'm also labeling on here so I know where they go once I pull them, because if I pull them out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And you can fit 15 colors on this rack. So there'll be a lot of them, but we'll see how that goes for now. Simon approves.
How many do you have all your threads bought?
I think I do. I'll have to double check that, but yes. But
you, Kim?
What's that?
I do, yeah. I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah.
I just need to double check the master list, but
yeah.
I had a lot of them from before. Okay. I mean, I bought a bunch. I think I bought like 60 the first time I went out. And then I thought, you should really check your stash. And I filled in quite a bit. I think I ended up needing like 20 more, something like that. Oh,
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I mean, that's one skein. Obviously, they're going to be replaced. I mean, some of those colors are not going to be just one skein, I'm sure.
Right.
And some, we were talking to kind of what Tina was saying, some have less than 100 stitches that you won't even need a full skein.
Yeah. You only need one length, and that's good enough for that project.
Yeah.
Which is what I did last night. I had the card filled up with all of the full skeins that I had bought. Mm-hmm. And then I went through my bobbins and I pulled out anything that was empty and filled up as much as I could with what the floss usage chart said would be required. So if it was like 1,000 stitches, I maybe put 2 lengths on here instead. So that filled up a lot of it. So a lot of these might not even need the full skein, but I had it purchased for this, so I put it on here.
Yeah.
So,
and then as we finish colors,
we
can put it back in our main stash.
Yeah.
Sorry about Simon is joining us for this part.
Pay attention to me.
What's that?
Pay attention to me, he says.
Yes, very much so. Tina, did you just use a regular hole punch to punch those, or did you use like a bigger hole punch?
No, just a regular hole punch from the office supply.
And you can fit a whole skein through the regular.
Yep.
Great.
How many of those cards do you have?
Oh yeah.
See, it also depends on how long you cut it, right? Because the shorter you cut it, the bulkier it'll be. So what I did was I had this box, a shipping box, and I just wrapped it around here, and it worked out perfectly for about, I think, 8 lengths is a skein. Mm-hmm. So that fit on here nicely, and that's about length that I'm comfortable with stitching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you went smaller, like a shorter length, it's going to be bulkier.
Yeah. Great. I was debating too. I'm cutting these the same length I normally would for a normal project, especially because some of these, might have 6 stitches in the whole thing of a particular color, which is going to take up so little, but then I'm going to put it back in my stash, and I don't want it too short that I wouldn't it'd be a pain to use it for a regular, a different project, a regular project.
Yeah.
This is not a regular project. So I'm just doing them the same length I would do for anything and hope for the best. Yeah.
So there's 20 cards and there's 13 colors on each card.
That makes sense.
Okay. Right.
Very organized.
And Kim, are you planning on pulling the floss away bags out as you work on it, or are you just going to work from, like Tina's working from kind of all the colors?
You mean like you were going to pull the colors you need for that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it enough to know how easy it is. I guess I could just pull out the ones I need for whatever square I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
I might do that. It depends on how cumbersome. I mean, I have everything in this big box right now that just sits on the 2-layer coffee table, and it's just been tucked under the bottoms. I mean, they would all be there, but yeah, it makes more sense to think about pulling out the ones maybe, or pull out the ones for the next 2 squares maybe, and then have 2 squares worth out. I might do that.
Yeah.
On a ring and just have them handy.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if you heard that. A plane flew very low across just now. So.
Didn't hear it.
Didn't hear it.
Good. It was very scary low.
I had a helicopter come down, a military helicopter come the other day. I was out watering really low and really slow. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Very loud.
Any other tips or any,
I probably am the only one that's doing a hard copy.
Oh,
Are you both doing digital?
I'm doing pattern keeper. Yeah.
Sarah and I were talking about that. I do have a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not it's not a new tablet. It's not like I don't know. I think it could handle pattern keeper. So I said, I may end up just buying it again and putting it on there and just having to have the hard copy in that and see if I can figure it out. She goes, oh, I can help you, Mom.
Yeah.
So I might end up converting over, but to start with, I'm going to use this. Because I bought the large print so I can see the symbols really well, and I can use a highlighter.
Yeah.
And I realized I used to be a highlighter stitcher all the time.
Yeah.
I stitched before. I highlighted everything. And so I'll make a working copy, obviously. I'm not gonna...
So here's another question. Are you going to park, or are you going to be cross country?
I'm thinking I'm going to try to learn how to park. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. I don't know. I was watching Teresa Little Stitcher. Is that what her name was?
Yeah.
She has a really good video on parking, and it made a lot of sense when I watched it 2 months ago. I need to rewatch it. And Sarah said, I was talking to Sarah because she was working on her page. She goes, I need to finish watching her videos. She said, because I parked a few times, and then when I get to that, I'm like, what color is this? I said, no, you have to mark it on your pattern that you've parked that color so that you know when you get there what color. She goes, oh, yeah, that makes total sense. Because she's had to figure it, look at her pattern and figure it out. So,
yeah.
I always use, when I was doing paper, I would always use the yellow for the parked color, and then the purple or any other color for my progress.
Yeah.
For the full stitches, and then yellow, because yellow is easy to go over with when you're finished with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, that makes, there's something about having paper and pen in my hand that I still really like.
Yeah.
And another tip for parking is always park on your starting
hole.
Well, for me, because I'm doing half cross, I do in the starting hole on the top, right? Because I will go from bottom to top or top to bottom. But when I'm parking, I always park it in the top. Mm-hmm. If you're doing a full X, you can do your bottom leg and then park on the first.
Oh, we lost her.
Yeah.
So she's saying do your whole bottom leg. Don't just come up in the bottom leg spot.
Yeah. I don't think I'm parking, because if I'm at that, because, are you back?
I'm back.
You're back.
Could you hear us?
Sorry?
Could you hear me when I was saying, are you saying you come up and do your complete first leg?
Yeah.
So
do the first leg and just start your second leg on the top. As long as you always park it in the same position, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And Carolyn was saying she wasn't maybe going to park.
I started parking on my other hades, and the threads kind of got in the way. And I think because I use Pattern Keeper, it's a little bit easier for me to kind of go all over. So I'm not necessarily working within just a 10 by 10 block. I'm kind of going, I won't necessarily do extreme cross country because I don't trust my county.
Yeah.
Right. But I'll go, I don't really have a set how far I'll go. But if there's something that's reasonable, I'll just finish that stitch and then kind of cut it off because the threads or the hanging threads kind of get in my way. And so that's just for me. I know some people have really nice ways of doing even their waist threads, and they look really beautiful. I don't know how they do it that beautiful, but so I will probably finish off because if I can reach to park it, I just want to finish the stitch, but I think that's easier because I am using Pattern Keeper. So it's a little bit easier for me to keep track of kind of how far away I'm going and that type of thing. So
I did buy one of those bobbins to kind of wrap my threads, because that's the part about parking that has freaked me out the most, is having all those threads just hanging. So I thought, well, maybe this will help. I've seen some people that actually would they use little clothespins
or a hair brett.
Bretts, the little cookies. If I can manage that, then I think parking will be okay. It's just it's the threads that are.
It's a good idea.
A little frightening.
So what I do is I stitch as far as I can go with that length, and then I park it. And then I just continue filling in. And then when I get to where it's too thick, it's too bulky, then I start picking up my parked threads and work them along, because after a while, you've got other stitches that you can count off of to continue going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Good. Yeah. And Kim, you were talking about getting maybe a new tablet.
That would be in the future.
Oh, okay.
I
talked about my tablet. I think I put it in my Amazon store, but it's called the High Joy, which I had never heard of that brand. It's around $80.
Not bad.
It's not bad. And it's one of those that you can, because I know if you get a Fire tablet, you have to first download Google Play. There's a whole series of steps you have to go through in order to get Pattern Keeper. But the High Joy it's an Android. You just have to download the app like you would download any other app on a tablet. So I liked it for that. And it's held up pretty well. And
that's good to know. I think I have a gift card for Amazon. Yeah. I have a Samsung Galaxy tablet and I don't use it very often because I'm on my computer for work, and then I just not on it that much, but I hang on to it. I've been tempted to give it away to somebody who needs it, maybe my daughter, but I just really can't give it up yet.
Yeah.
Just something about having that extra, but it probably needs a bunch of updates anyway, and I probably would have to do that.
Well, Christmas is coming. It might be on your Christmas list.
Wish list.
Yeah. And I might really like that digital version. I'm an old lady stitcher.
Yeah. I like it because I can zoom way in and see
what you're doing.
What I'm doing. Or sometimes the symbols are similar, which is smart that you got the large print.
Yeah.
Sometimes those symbols are so similar to one another that I can't tell.
And they're scrunched together, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the large print, I wouldn't say is huge. I mean, it's bigger than what you normally would get, I'm sure, but I mean, I can see it with these glasses, and these are my computer glasses, but.
Can you show us just a corner of it? I don't think anybody will be able to stitch the whole piece from.
See anything.
That's the large?
That's the large print.
Wow.
Wow.
So I can't imagine what the regular print would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got the large. For all our sakes.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
So where do you plan on starting?
Upper left.
Upper left.
I think I'm going to start upper center. So I see everybody starting on upper left. So I've seen that part already. I'm going to start in the middle.
Oh, I see. Like right smack in the middle at the top.
Well, you have that grid, so it'll be easy for you to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, but the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. Look at you. Being bold and daring.
I mean, I know people that start in the bottom, and I'm like, I could not count up. Like, I don't count up very well anymore. I used to.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time with that. It's just very intuitive now to start in the upper left.
Yeah. It's the way we read and write. Yeah.
When I used to stitch in the 80s, everybody started right in the middle. You started right in the middle of your piece. And I'm like, oh, that would be a nightmare. Yeah, no.
That'll be fun to see, though. See something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I admire your confidence on counting. Because, like, I mean, you have that grid and all that. And so, you're sure. And even if I did that, I wouldn't be sure of myself.
Yeah, but it's just going to be filling in from the center out. So I don't stray too far with my counting. I will not start up here and then go 50 stitches down and do a whole chunk down here. I will make sure I have like lots of colors done before I get to that part if I really want to see that.
Have you seen Stitching Mommies? She did extreme cross country on hers. And so she has little bits in each of the 4 seasons. And the idea was so that for a challenge, a prompt or something, she could pick it up and stitch in any one of the seasons.
Yeah.
She can do extreme cross country, and she's very talented at it. Yeah.
She picked the colors that were on the shelves so that she could get the shelves done first for her placement.
Yeah.
Oh. In the bottom.
I will not be doing that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Kim's like,
no.
Upper left.
Upper left. Safety.
Moving across.
Yep. That's great.
Moving, I don't know, even moving diagonally down kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Does anybody plan on doing diagonal or anything like that?
I'm going to do probably what I'm doing with like cat alphabet, which is just kind of all over, but moving across in a section kind of.
Yeah.
Moving, going down a little bit, but always moving to the
right.
To the right.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get like one season done and then move down to the next season, but I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell kind of where things end and begin on the.
Well, we could stitch it seasonally.
No.
Yeah, but then we would have to make sure we got the whole height of one done each season.
Yeah.
We'd have to start 3/4 of the way down the pattern also. Because we're looking at fall.
What's the first season on there?
Spring.
Oh, yeah.
I did see somebody on Instagram that's been doing, I think, the spring, and they said, I'm so sick of spring, I'm moving down to summer. So she started to move down a little bit. I could see that maybe happening if I start to feel more confident and have a block, but still just working down from where I am, right? If I do that first little section of spring and then I move down to the summer block, maybe.
So we could do it Australian seasons, which is how I'm doing Dressmaker's Daughter.
Yeah.
And so in the autumn, we'll still be working on spring.
There you go.
And in the winter, we can start summer.
You go ahead and do that.
I might.
Little miss, I'm going to start in the middle.
If we gave ourselves a year to get each, like, something in each of the seasons, and then it would be easier to say, okay, it's Australian spring or whatever, then we can go back up. But I feel like I'm at least a year or two away from being able to commit to that. But eventually, yes. I like that idea.
Goals. We have goals.
We have goals.
Long-term goals. I hope to finish this piece before I retire.
I won't. I'll be retired before I finish this.
Yeah.
But then maybe I'll have more time and I'll actually get it done.
There you go.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't have any. You know, people are like, I don't know about retirement. I'm going to be so bored. I'm like, bored? No. No.
I've never been bored a day in my life.
No. And that's what I think is, you know, yeah. What do people do that don't have hobbies? I don't understand.
Yeah.
They travel.
I guess.
That's a hobby, right?
Yeah.
Travel. Yeah. I
They
guess
have the money, the funds to travel.
I was gonna say, if I didn't buy
it
all
on their hobby.
That closet is my retirement.
Yeah, there you go. Your stash.
My stash. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. And I was going to say too, I'm going to start off with just a hoop. I don't have scroll rods or anything. So I might look at getting a Q-snap down the road, but I'm going to try. I have a really big hoop that I'm going to try. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do the, what is it? 11 by 17 Q snap. I don't know if there is a scroll rod that's long enough. I mean, maybe, but it'd be the length of my couch.
Especially on 18 count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almanac has long bars. I had bought an Almanac for my chatelaine, but my spreader bars are too long, so it makes it really huge frame. But if you get a spreader bar and a long bar, it would fit.
Yeah.
I don't know about 18 count, but 25 count.
18 count's going to be huge.
Carolyn's going to have a sheet when she's done.
Yeah.
Bed sheet. Candy always calls it a bed sheet.
Yeah. That's Sarah was telling me when I was figuring out. She goes, Mom, that's huge. You're going to have a sheet. And I said, well, I'm trying to go as small as I can. Still be able to do it.
Yeah.
That's why I played around. I did get a couple samples of 20 and 22 count to try to make it a little smaller. And I said, my gut is telling me just go with what you know, especially given another 20, 25 years of age in me. Like,
well,
I really won't be able to see the 22 count.
Yeah. 18 count does sound appealing to me, but especially like you said, my eyes aren't getting any younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, 22 wouldn't be that much bigger than 25.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But I like the 2 threads. So.
Right.
18
bed sheet. I'm stitching Beautitudes by My Big Toe on 22 count hardanger fabric with 2 strands over 2 strands over 1. So it does work.
Coverage?
It's not full coverage.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to get bulky.
Yeah.
But the coverage is good with 2 strands.
Right. Yeah. I did a little test patch and I thought with 2 strands for full coverage, it might be a little, especially if you have to frog.
Especially with the confetti.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you done 1 over 1 before full cross, Carolyn? You just don't like it? Or
I've tried it on Balmy Spring Day and Farewell to Anger. I had 25 count.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. So I tried it first with 2 threads. It was too bulky. I tried it with 1 thread and I just don't love, I mean, if it's a smaller piece, then that's fine. But I think for something that's going to take me as long as this, I really want the 2 threads, something to hold on to, grip onto.
Hang on for
That's also where your floss usage is going to be different.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they're basing it on 2 strands.
Oh, they are?
Full cross.
Yeah. Okay.
On 25 count.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be using half as much because I'm only doing a half across.
Right. And 1 strand, right? Or 2 strands?
2 strands, half cross.
2 strands. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll vary. But...
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Let's see how it all shakes out.
Yeah.
We have, would you say 14 days, 2 weeks? 2 weeks from yesterday?
I think it was
13 days.
Yeah. Countdown begins.
Yeah.
So join our Facebook group. And there is the hashtag a stitching shelf. I think it's just the hashtag. And once you join the stitching group, you'll see we'll set up an event because we're going to do a Zoom call. I can't remember if we talked about this at the beginning, but we'll do a Zoom call to kick off. And we can all start together, or if you've already started, I know a couple people have said, I can't wait to start. We'll still let you in. But that will all be, and so that Zoom call will be August 12th, 4 p.m. Pacific time or 6 p.m. Central time on Friday, August 12th. So it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Join us.
Yes, please join us.
We'll be halfway through August at that point.
Oh my gosh, Kim.
The other day, I thought of you, Carolyn. Somebody posted, it was on the 25th. They said 5 months till Christmas.
My mom always texts me on the 25th of every month with the countdown. It's so funny. I know. I love it. I can't wait. I can't wait for the cooler weather anyway.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Are you roasting up there too, Tina?
It's finally nice out. And of course, I'm busy instead of out there playing.
Yeah. Did your snow all melt?
It's all gone now.
Perfect.
It just doesn't feel like the end of July because it took so long for the snow to go away.
Yeah.
It still feels like the beginning of July, if that.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys hung on to it for a long time.
Yeah.
When you were talking about all the flooding and everything, it was really interesting. At the same time that you were talking about it up where you are, my son and daughter-in-law up in Duluth, Minnesota, there's areas up just north of them that have been under flood watches for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I think they still are. And I'm thinking it must just be from they had such crazy snow.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the repercussions of it, even this far in. Yeah.
And because it was so late in melting, the ground was still frozen, so it just stayed on top.
Yeah.
And we had lots of floods. There's still situations now. A guy who works on the roads was here yesterday, and he was saying that there's some areas where the water is receding, but it went under the roadbed. And so now the roadbed's not solid.
Yep.
Wow.
So, lots of work.
Lots of work.
Crazy. All right.
Okay.
So we will see you all in the Facebook group, but also on August 12th. And we're super excited.
Yep. Join us. Join us in our fun.
Yeah, fun. Bye.
Bye.